Morning, Jamie. Welcome to Akau TV. How's it going?
Good, mate.
How's the week been?
Yeah, busy enough. Busy enough. Big days racing today. Good quality days racing today. Be hard to win a race there at Tarapa, and Group 1 day at Hastings tomorrow, which we're all looking forward to.
Yeah, of course, we are at the first day of October, and we're looking forward to seeing obviously the Group 1 action heat up over the next couple of weeks leading into obviously the Melbourne Cup Carnival in November. So a couple of things to touch on today. Obviously, you had a few runners in Australia last week. Do you want to touch on the performances quickly of the two horses in Sydney on Trivier and Sorted State and Probabile over in Melbourne?
Yeah, so Sort of State got caught deep. He's 3 deep, no cover, and had to carry 60 kilos. He'd missed a bit of a trial because of some COVID restrictions. So he actually ran quite well. I think he'll improve a lot. He'll run next Saturday at Randwick in the Roman Console, and he'll go into that race a fitter colt, and I think he'll be a good chance. On Trivier ran really well. She had to go back off an outside gate. I think she was some of the best sectionals of the day to make ground from where she did. James wasn't particularly pleased with that track. He said it was very firm, and there was a sort of a leader's bias. So I thought her run was terrific, and Probabile ran really well in running second to Zaki in the Underwood at Sandown there, the lakeside. So yeah, she was on the backup, and she'll go to the Caulfield Stakes next Saturday and run into him again. And then we'll just sort of see where we are, whether we're going to a Cox Plate or whether we're coming back and trip for a race like the Empire Rose.
Oh, fantastic. So I guess moving along, as you mentioned, it's a pretty strong looking card at Tarapa today with a number of runners engaged. What's the weather been like? I know it's been affecting a lot of your runners, especially getting them race fit. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, pretty frustrating this time of the year, but it's the same every year. Some of our horses have had 2 and 3 trials and been away for gallops and all of that sort of thing, and they've got to the races and been scratched the morning of because it's sort of been heavy or rain affected. So unfortunately, it's just that time of the year. I think we're pretty lucky as an industry to have the synthetic surface to trial on, particularly for us, and race on as well. If we hadn't had that surface over the last 6 weeks, we would have been in a world of pain.
Well, at least the farmers are happy, and you can remember last year the Hawke's Bay was pretty drought stricken as well. So at least they are getting some rain down there for the farmers. I'm sure DC will be happy about that.
For sure.
Cool. Across the Tarapa, we're going to kick off in race 3, the happy 40th Vicky Begovic 1400. You've got medal for Waikato Stud with Danielle Johnson on board.
Yeah, he ran well at Tarapa last start. Up to 1400 should suit. Hopefully we can get a little bit of cover from the gate, and he should be attacking the line well. He's a nice horse. He had a couple of runs there as a 2-year-old when he was still a colt. He's been gelded since. Hopefully he's not too far away from winning one.
Cool. And then straight across to race 4, the NZB Ready to Run Sail Breeze Ups, 11th and 12th of October, 3-year-old, set weight and penalty 1200. We see Palamos back, who we last saw on Boxing Day.
Yeah, Palamos is a really nice colt. Got a lot of time for him. He was coming up particularly well in the earlier part of the spring. Then he got held up with a bit of a blood complaint and had to have a couple of weeks off. So we're just sort of trying to make up a bit of lost ground here with him. He had a very quiet trial on Tuesday, a bit of an unorthodox approach to get him through to this run. But if he didn't sort of run here today, he was going to have to run in a rating 74 next week with a bit of a patchy forecast. So quiet trial Tuesday, haven't done a lot with him since. Racing today, bit of an awkward gait, but there does look to be a bit of speed around him. Hopefully we can sneak forward and race in the first half a dozen. And he's a really nice colt, quite a clean-winded colt, but certainly still expect a bit of improvement out of today for him as we try to get him towards the 2,000 guineas. Cool.
And moving down to Millie Fiore with Sam Weatherly on board.
Yeah, she's a good filly. I was a little bit disappointed with her first up run. She gave her a week in the paddock after that. We've worked her up with some blinkers on. Work probably hasn't been as great as I would have hoped, but she's got a nice draw. She's going to get a soft run. and if she can find some of her 2-year-old form, she's certainly going to be a good chance. But she does need to front up today, otherwise she might be having a bit of a spell.
Cool. And then moving down to race 5, the Dunstan Recovery Mash, 1200, rating 65, 1200. We've got Lachine with Joe Cameron on board.
Yeah, Lachine's a nice mare that we've got in training for Gordy Cunningham from Carramore. Drawn well, trials have been good. Joe's 2 kilo allowance will help. He knows it well, rides her in most of her work in the mornings. And I think she'll run well. The only sort of thing that we've done there is we've taken the visor blinkers off just to try and get her to relax a little bit further, with a view to getting her out to, maybe a little bit further after a couple of runs at 1200. So that would be the only question mark for me. She's going well. I think she won't mind a little bit of soft ground. That track should hopefully improve a little bit, but yeah, she's going well. One of our nicer chances for the day.
Nice. And moving down to race 6, the Phil Cataldo Bloodstock 1200 open handicap. Quite a nice field this. You've got some pretty impressive horses lining up in the race. First off, Brando with Craig Grills on board.
Yeah, really impressive field. Just a better group race, really. So yeah, Brando's going well. He was sort of down to run at Tiaraha last week. It was just on the slow side. Probably better. That track was probably better than what we expected it to be. But anyway, he's had another trial since then. He's going particularly well. He's got a nice lightweight. He's got a handy draw. I think he should run well as long as he can handle that bit of bite out of the track.
Cool. And Festivity drops down in class from the Foxbridge.
Yeah, the Foxbridge was a nightmare. Far too far forward. Disappointed with how that played out. So we'll look to ride her a bit conservative today. She's a much better chaser. She's just going to need a little bit of luck. So she'll be back if they go a good solid tempo, which I think they will here with a couple of speedsters in there. Hopefully it's going to set it up for something to get over the top of them, and she'll have no concerns with the track. And she has been really going well in her track work at home. So really looking forward to Festivity and Brando kicking off their, starting today.
Cool. Is Romantic Lady going to get a start?
Yeah, she'll run. She's particularly gross doing there. She's had 3 trials and still looks a bit pretty. So expect her to sort of be in amongst them, but will improve with a run under her belt.
Great. Down to race 8, the Super Seth at Waikato Stud Mile, open handicap, Savillon Blanc with Danielle Johnson on board.
Yeah, got the good draw, got to carry a bit of weight. We're just sort of using this race to fit her for the last leg at Hastings. I wasn't that keen to give her another trip down there tomorrow, Saturday. So she'll run well, and she'll go to the Weight for Age 2000 at Hastings and be a really good chance on the last day.
Great. And just moving down the country down to Ricketton, and kicking off Saturday's action, we have got race 2, the Group 1 race day party, 23rd of October, maiden, 1400 Irish Red.
Yep, big run last time in the stakes race there. Got a bit of well-deserved black type from an awkward gate last start. So she's trained on well up to 1400. I don't think holds any concern. She's got a nice draw. Should get a soft run with a bit of luck and running. Got to be a really good chance.
Right, and you've got Novair nominated in the Guineas trial and the rating 65, both over 1400 metres.
Yeah, he'll run in the Guineas trial. I think we'll get a bit of a line on where he's at against some of those other horses that are heading that way. Fireglow looks to be a good prospect. Field of Gold was good at Tarapa, and Palmetto was good in his only start. So that's a nice little field there. Drawn a bit of an awkward gate. He is a beautiful horse, and hopefully we can see him run well because we do like him.
Great. And the Easter handicap favourite Marcus Aurelius lines up in the Copeland's Bakery Mile Prelude over 1400.
Yeah, he's going well, drawn well. He ran well the other day without a lot of luck. This is probably just another run to fit him for the Copeland's on the way through there. So he'll run well again, but he might find a couple of these a bit sharp for him.
Great. And some nice horses lined up in race 9, starting with Challa.
Yeah, Chella will run. He'll run there. He's going to carry a little bit of weight, but I've been keeping an eye on this young apprentice, Sanu Tula. He rode well there the other day. He's a straightforward horse to ride. He likes to go forward. He's drawn a good gate, so he'll be in it for a long way. Supreme Khan, I thought he was a touch disappointing first up, but the winner of that race has come out and gone on with it again. So it could be a could be a good lead. He's drawn a bit awkward. We'll just ride him a little bit conservative, get a bit of cover, and he'll be finishing off strongly. And we took Secret Amore out. We just weren't that happy with her blood picture this week. So she'll go to Timaru next Friday for a 74 1200. Certainly keep an eye on her there.
Perfect. And just moving down to race 10, the New Zealand Bloodstock Ready to Run sale, 17th to 18th of November, open handicap over 2,000 metres. You've got leaderboard for Fortuna.
Yeah, leaderboard's a nice horse. He ran well first up over the mile. He's had a little trial to tick him over since then. His ultimate goal is the New Zealand Cup, so he's probably just getting ready. He'll get back a bit from an awkward gate and be finding the line well.
How does he pick a path through to the New Zealand Cup?
He'll run in a listed the Spring Classic in 3 weeks, and then I'll probably give him another run in just an ordinary open handicap at Ashburton, and then he'll go to the Cup. I don't think we'll run him in the lead up there, the Metropolitan, the week before. I think we'll stay away from that race. We'll run him at Ashburton a fortnight before and just give him a little bit of extra time to get ready for the last day at Ricketton.
Perfect. He ran on quite nicely last start, didn't he?
Yeah, he's going well. He's sort of a genuine stayer. Second up at 2,000. Shouldn't hold any problems for him, but he's got to carry a little bit of weight. There's some sort of genuine stayers in there, so we'll see how we go.
Cool. And just wrapping up the program, race 11, Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge, rating 74, 1,600, Zol Luminous with Rohan Madhu on board.
Yeah, she was good the other day, sort of made up a little bit of ground. She's got an awful barrier draw. Good quality fields down there at Ricketton, big numbers, and it's I think a lot of it's going to come down to barrier draws. She's going to have to get a long way out of her ground from there, but there's a 74 1,800 back at Ricketton in 3 weeks for her, where she should be a good chance with a nice draw.
Perfect. And moving north of the country, back up to Hastings, race 3, the Lee Reedshaw Memorial Open Handicap over 1,300, Mai Tai for Samantha Collett.
Yeah, good race this. Nice horses kicking off, and one or two have had a run as well. So she's had a few trials. She was another light Brando, was supposed to go to Tiaraha last week. Just thought the track was a little bit slow. In hindsight, probably should have run her. But she's going well. She's drawn a little bit awkward. She'll sort of be back behind midfield, but she'll be attacking the line strongly, and we think she's got some nice races in her this coming season.
Cool. And the 1,000 Guineas place getter Cornflower Blue with Danielle Johnson on board.
Yeah, had no luck first up, Taupo. Just things didn't go our way there. She seems to have trained on well. Again, a little bit of an awkward gait, but she has shown some sort of natural speed before. So hopefully we can end up in the first half a dozen, and give her a chance. I think it's looks to be a nice race for her. The only question mark with her, if that track was reasonably firm, she just does like to get her toe in the ground a little bit.
Okay, and moving down to race 7, the Lever Mile Feed Optimizer, 1,600 rating 74 benchmark. We've got She's a Thinker drawn slightly awkwardly.
Yeah, and a bit of a tricky draw there from that particular start at the mile shoot, because they jump and turn. But she's got natural speed. She led at Tarapa. We'll try and go forward again. Don't want her to lead, but we want to be handy. Her work's been really encouraging. She's a good each way chance at it. Should be a decent price, but probably won't be. Right,
and moving down to race 8, the Group 1 Windsor Park Plate, over a mile. Obviously, there's a pretty short price favourite up the top of the book. We've got Predefer with Troy Harris on board.
Yep, Cool Sign Mav, definitely the horse to beat, and deservedly so. A very short favourite. He was dominant the other day. Predefer walked out of the barrier and made good ground late. So we've really tried to keep him nice and fresh, keep him bouncing around this week. We will try and ride him a bit positive from the gate if we can, provided that he jumps away. I think he's a really good place chance, but Cool Sign Mav's going to be awfully hard to beat.
Great. And then moving across to Sunday, we've got one runner lining up at Tiaraha. Race 8, Clean My Office Space, 1,500, rating 74 benchmark. You've got Sea Jets with Danielle Johnson on board.
Yeah, disappointed with his first up run. He just went once round, and I don't think he put in too much effort. So he's won a couple at Tiaraha, hence why we've gone back here. right-handed. Danielle knows him well. Worked on Tuesday morning with Brando and worked okay. So it's really up to him. He's a bit cunning, this bugger, so not really sure what to expect there from him.
Cool. And that wraps up the program for the weekend. Do we have a best bet? We probably drew one here.
I could tip you into something that'll run a place because we seem to be having a lot of those, but not too many. What should we do? Should we say, why don't we go Brando to run a nice race today? Been really pleased with his trials and his work, and hopefully seems to be back in good shape.
Cool. And moving across to next week, there's a couple of runners lined up in Australia. Do you want to chat through those quickly before we leave you?
Yeah, so as I sort of alluded to just briefly there before, so Probabeel will run in the Caulfield Stakes at Caulfield against Zaki. He'll be awfully hard to beat again, but she'll run well, as she always does. Carmelas will be second up in the Weekend Hustler at Caulfield, 1400. Back to a handicap against the boys to try and get a bit of weight relief. If she draws a gate, she's going to be a decent chance at a decent price. She was good the other day, being caught 5 and 6 wide, no cover. So expect her to turn her form around. And sort of started running the Roman Console. Tim Clark's going to ride him there, who has been riding in particularly, riding particularly well. And I think he'll suit the horse because he seems to be a front-running rider on quite a few of those Gay and Bot trained horses. And the other one that will run at Randwick next Saturday will be Amaralina. It's going to run in a Mares handicap mile. James McDonald's going to ride her, which I think is a big plus. And we just shied away from the Epsom with her off the back of a sort of, I guess, a little bit of a disappointing first up run where she had no luck. We've just given her 3 weeks into this next race, and I think she can be a really good winning chance.
Perfect. Alrighty then. Well, good luck for the weekend, and we'll catch you next week, Jamie.
Thank you.